Hey, this is cybersecurity student Reginald Andre, and we are here for episode number 2 of our Tech Talk. And Tech Talk is when I walk around the neighborhood of different sites in Miami, beautiful Miami, Florida in the United States. And, I kind of show you the houses and the scenery and the palm trees, all while talking tech. And our channel is focused for the business owner to just know what's going on and how to protect your business from cyber attacks. And one of the questions that always people ask me is, I'm too small, cyber criminals will never come after me. But let me tell you this, as long as you have money, they're gonna come after you. And there's this ransomware group I wanna talk about today, and it's called Clop, C-L-O-P, and they're based out of Russia, and they're linked to the Russian government, and they have netted about $100 million in the last 2 months. So to be exact, from May 28 to around today in July, they have netted $100 million, and that's what's been reported. So I think it's going to be way more, because a lot of times, especially with the smaller companies, you have situations where they are they have some type of ransomware attack, and they now pay it. But let's get to the story. $100 million in 2 months is a lot of money, right? And this is why they're doing it, because there's so much money to be made. And in this particular group, the way they made their money is because they found a vulnerability back in 2021. They found a vulnerability in a software called MOVEit. So MOVEit, you probably never heard of it, because it's really for enterprises. There could be a scenario, for example, you have a bank, and the bank has customer information in program A, and now it needs to send that information to another division of the bank, maybe a partner with the bank, whatever the case is. But there's tons of data, gigabytes and terabytes of data that they have to move. Well, you're not just going to take something like Dropbox and just send a link and just move it that way. You want to use something a little more professional. You want to use something that's more secure, something you have more control of, and that's why MOVEit exists. So MOVEit is kind of like a Dropbox, but for enterprises, and it does a lot of more integration. So MOVEit had a vulnerability, and they had some bad code, and Clop knew about this. And now what Clop did during the Memorial Day weekend is that they now found over, let me make sure I give you the right information, to date, in 2 months, they found 347 different companies all around the world with these vulnerabilities. And then from there, what they then did is they basically says, look, we have your information, and if you don't pay us, we're going to release this information. And this is exactly why they were able to make $100 million in less than 2 months. So I mean, that's a pretty good salary here, right? Just always talk a little about the background. You're going to see these original trees. You're going to see these original Florida trees, so it's pretty cool. So just going back, companies that we're talking about is Shells, Siemens, Schindler, Shutterfly, HCA, banks. Again, a lot of money. So why does this all matter? It all matters because this is how the cyber criminals make money. If you have money in your bank, they're going to come after you. And it's just amazing, because this is actually going to be probably the biggest attack this year. I mean, unless something else comes, but this is actually going to be one of the biggest ones in the last 2 or 3 years. This is very similar to what happened with SolarWinds and other places like that. So that's all I kind of wanted to talk about, is why these cyber criminals are doing this, and it's because they are making money. They have organizations. It's not a 16-year-old kid that's in some basement, and now they're just running some type of software to get the money. Yeah, that happens, but these guys and businesses, it's an organization. It's very, very structured. They go after the big companies. They go after the small companies. If you have money, if you have a cyber insurance policy, if you have computers, they're going to come after you. So this is why it's so important to make sure that you keep your systems updated. that the vendors that you work with, you make sure that there's plans in place to update their systems, because it is so important. Because you don't want to be, I mean, like I mentioned, 18 million individuals are now affected. Social security numbers, driver license information, passports. I mean, all of these different information, employees' records. It's really bad, guys. So I just think that it's important for me to let you guys know that cybersecurity is real, and if there's money in your bank account, they're gonna come after you. All right, so wish me luck that I continue this. This is episode 2, and I look forward to doing episode 3 and talking more about cybersecurity and how it affects your business. Take care.